Good morning from Dragon's Exile in the Garuda Desert. I'm Percival and once again, it's time for me to talk about things I liked from the internet in the past week. First off, we got a commentary from Kira Won't Miss saying, "This was the time closest humanity ever came to world peace." And it's a video from 2016 of people running after a Snorlax in Pokemon Go. It's amazing what will bring humanity together. Next up, just something I appreciated from Saki Miyamoto. It's just such a perfect imitation, not only of the facial expression, but the hair of Anya from Spy Family. Very good anime. You should go watch it, everyone. Next, we've got a quote from CL Hughes saying, "Rich teens on TV are always talking about how rich they are, but I went to a private school with lots of rich teens and they don't do that. They say something like, 'Oh, we have a little place on the beach.' And then you go and it's a 20-bedroom mansion that Chef Boyardee used to own." Just imagine how much spaghetti you can fit in a place like that. I will say that often writers for TV and movies, well, in manga as well, they'll try to do double duty with dialogue and have people expositing about their situation or their character. So yeah, of course they're gonna have rich people talk about how rich they are instead of being more subtle about it as they would be in real life. Next up, we've got from Animals with Captions. This one doesn't have much of a caption. It's just a little kitty with a question mark. And then being stretched out to get an x-ray. Oh, it's such a pathetic little look for it. Poor kitty. I hope it's doing better now. And speaking of animals, we have another animal that's kind of sad looking from Willow Pilsen saying, "Hello everybody, please look at this picture of an owl that has been rained on. Thank you." And this is one of those animals that looks very sad, but also I feel like if it were bigger, it would be absolutely terrifying. I would not want to see this coming at me in real life or in a video game. And speaking of video games, next we have a meme from 88249 saying, "It do be like that sometime." The picture saying, "Killing a boss in Bloodborne," and the loot just says, "Frozen squid," and a sad letter. It does seem to be the sort of stuff that you get in those games. I will say also, because of the tracksuits that people are wearing, it made me think of Squid Games, which I've never watched before, but I assume that that their reward in those games are a frozen squid and a sad letter. And here we have from Chinchillazilla saying, "This should be illegal." And I very much agree. It's a picture of the Nintendo buttons and Xbox buttons, and the X, Y, A, and B are like, they're just flip, and it's annoying. And I've never known why the video game industry did not make a standard on this. I'm kind of curious about other systems because I don't even remember playing on like a Sega. What did the buttons say on that? I know that on PlayStation it's triangle, circle, X, and triangle instead of letters. So hopefully they'll standardize it someday, but I'm sure that when it comes down to that, then Microsoft and Nintendo are both going to be angrily yelling that their way is the true way. And next, speaking about technology, from Botastic Guy saying, "Those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it." And there's a picture of the ball pit from the Bitcoin convention. And I will say, comparing this to DashCon from Tumblr, at least the Bitcoin people, it's a bit sad because there's not a lot of people in it, but it does look like a really well-made setup with like custom balls and custom slides into the balls. It's not just a little inflatable pool full of plastic balls. And then next from 086Vary, it says, "Look at this cute little bastard and tell me you don't want one." And it's a big military airplane and like a tiny version of it. And I'm not sure the purpose of the tiny version of it is just to be fun, I guess. It reminds me of the Keanu Reeves "Don't talk to me or my son ever again" meme. I love that sort of stuff. And next we have from Dudes Posting W's saying, "The reality series River Monsters ended because star Jeremy Wade was able to catch essentially every exceptionally large freshwater fish species on Earth, leaving no remaining content for the show." I used to watch that show a lot, and that's pretty amazing that, they did it. They got everything. Good memories. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I think one of my favorite was the Loch Ness Monster episode, where they go and they catch all the big animals that could possibly get into Loch Ness, and it turns out there's not a lot of big animals that could get there. And next, from Wholesome Memes, is, "Where is this kitty rock?" And a lot of people replying to it were highlighting that it also looks like something else that's not a kitty. It looks a bit like the Among Us crewmate. But I think it looks like a kitty to me. Leave in the comments whether you think it's a kitty or a crewmate. And next, a little sports video. The baseball player and just the bounce off of his bottom from the baseball that did not go over the plate. And I looked at this and I thought, this is what it would be like if Team Ninja made a baseball game. Jiggle physics everywhere. Then next, something that is from Chaotic Nightclub Photos. And I didn't even notice at first when I scrolled by, and then I realized that someone is looking extra chaotic in the bottom corner. It's a bit scary. Oh, I don't want to see her. It's one of the reasons I don't like going to nightclubs. They're too chaotic. Then, in terms of going to real life places, the newest Kingdom Hearts game has been announced, and it looks like Sora is in the real world now. He's in the modern day, and people doxed him. This is from Stella Knox Eclair saying, "Sora's been IRL for 4 hours and they already doxed him." The people found out exactly which building they had photographed the skyline from, and even the window to his apartment kind of looks like the window to the building. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, they got him. And one final thing, also video game related. This is some Elden Ring story time again. Saying, "The multiplayer component to FromSoft games is modest compared to most games, yet it's so elegant that one player who helps others get past Elden Ring's hardest boss is being mythologized and revered by the community," says Paul R. And it's a story from, I believe this is Reddit. Let me zoom out a bit so everyone can read it. So it's saying, "Here's to an absolute legend, let me solo her. After 20 to 30 millennia attempts and attempting to get to 15% several times, I finally decided I would try summoning. I popped the finger remedy and approached the first sign I could see. It was a man wearing nothing but a jar on his head, holding 2 katanas named 'Let me solo her.' I considered against it, but I was curious, and who am I to deny him his wish? The man took no damage, except for some rot on the flower attack. He was flawless and put all my attempts to shame. I definitely didn't kill Millennia, but either way, she is dead. Thank you, kind stranger, even if you'll never see this message." And people have been doing fan art of this legend of Elden Ring. And I just like to think that this is exactly the sort of person that Miyazaki would have wanted to help him push his car in the snow. And that's all I've got for you this week. Once again, I've been Percival Fine, and this has been another fine morning.